a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. John Warboys. John Radford is a convicted sex offender, known as the Black Cab Rapist. Warboys was convicted in 2009 for attacks on 12 women. Police believe that he may have had more than 100 victims, which would make him one of Britain's most prolific sex attackers. Early life. Warboys left school with few qualifications and was employed in jobs including milkman, junior dairy manager and security guard. He lived alone in Rotherhithe, South London before marrying Kate Santos in 1991. The couple separated after 8 years. Santos stated that he sexually assaulted her daughter and that he confessed to following home and assaulting another woman. He was in a relationship at the time of his arrest in 2008. From 1987 to 2000, Warboys worked as a stripper, using Terry the Minder as a pseudonym. As Paul and Tony, Warboys directed and appeared in a pornographic film. He hired out his flat in Poole, Dorset for making pornographic films. Warboys worked as a taxi driver in Bournemouth while living at his holiday flat in Poole. His prescription for sleeping problems allowed him to stockpile temazepam, a known date rape drug, which he later used on his female victims. Method. Warboys was a London black cab taxi driver, who picked up women as fares late at night in central London, and told them he was celebrating coming into a large amount of money, usually by winning the lottery or at a casino. He used to show them a carrier bag full of money to back up his story, ply them with champagne that had been drugged with sedatives, and then sexually assault or rape them. In some cases, he offered women money to have sex with him. The women often had little memory of what happened to them. Police investigation. The first reports to police concerning suspicious incidents experienced by women in black cabs dated from 2002. Over a period of 6 years, 14 professional women between 18 and 34 years of age complained to the police of assault or other worrying experiences in a taxi, all of which had similarities. The police failed to link them. Warboys was arrested for the sexual assault of a 19-year-old student in July 2007 and held at a police station in Plumstead, southeast London, but was released on bail after police believed his protests that she had been drunk and kissed him as she left his cab, which was confirmed by CCTV footage. In December 2007, a 26-year-old woman made a complaint about a cab driver who drugged and raped her, but a DNA sample was not matched to Warboys. In January 2008, a 29-year-old insurance broker made a similar report to Essex Police. In February 2008, Warboys raped a lawyer in his cab, who reported this to the police. These 3 reports convinced police that they were dealing with a serial rapist and they made a public appeal. A member of staff at a sexual referral unit remembered the 2007 case and Warboys was arrested at his house in Rotherhithe. Physical evidence. Police found a rape kit in the boot of Warboys' Fiat Punto, containing champagne miniatures, plastic gloves, a torch, vibrators, condoms, sleeping tablets and an ashtray he used to crush drugs. In a safe in Warboys' garage, police found handwritten notes outlining his planned explanations if he was questioned again following his 2007 arrest. These papers were not used in court, because he claimed to have written them for his solicitor. Warboys' DNA was recovered from a semen stain in one woman's underwear. A wristband belonging to another woman was found in his house, and a third victim's address was found in his notebook. Forensic evidence linked a vibrator found in his car to another victim. Trial. Warboys pleaded not guilty to all 23 counts brought against him. 14 women testified in court. Warboys claimed to have engaged in banter with the women to get their attention, due to not getting attention and cuddles when growing up. He said that any sex was consensual. His defense counsel described Warboys as an oddball, a weird customer, and a socially inadequate individual, but told the jury it did not mean Warboys was guilty, claiming, "What have the prosecution got? They have got a lot of young women who had a very strange experience in the back of a taxi. It is not normal to be offered a drink by a taxi driver. The temptation for the jury is to say he is weed, he must have done it. Don't fall into that trap. Verdict and sentencing. Warboys was convicted at Croydon Crown Court on 13 March 2009 of 1 count of rape, 5 sexual assaults, 1 attempted assault, and 12 drugging charges, committed from July 2007 to February 2008. He was cleared of 2 counts of drugging. He was sent for a pre-sentencing report and a psychiatric report, and was sentenced on 21 April. He received an indeterminate sentence requiring he serve at least 8 years. Mr. Justice Penry Davey said he would not be released until the parole board decided he no longer presented a threat to women. The judge instructed that Warboys should be banned from driving a passenger vehicle for profit. Inquiry into the police investigation. The commander of Greenwich Police was moved on due to failings in this inquiry and an unrelated murder investigation. A spokeswoman for Women Against Rape said, "We hope that some senior officers will face dismissal over this and similar cases." The handling of Warboys' case was brought before the Independent Police Complaints Commission, who concluded that proper investigations could have prevented some of the attacks. 5 officers had complaints against them upheld, but all were allowed to remain in their jobs. This decision was criticized by one of the victims and her lawyers, who say that she was laughed at by the police when she reported her assault. Following this case, the Metropolitan Police created a Central Intelligence Unit to investigate serial sex offenders. Later developments. By October 2010, the Metropolitan Police had received 102 additional complaints from women in London and Dorset, and believed that in 13 years as a taxi driver he could have drugged and attacked more than 100 female passengers. In a statement following the verdict, the police called for any other women who may have been attacked by Warboys to come forward. 2 unnamed women, who were sexually assaulted by Warboys, received damages from the Metropolitan Police in February 2014 after it was concluded their human rights had been breached by inhuman or degrading treatment. During the police investigation, the Met lost its appeal against the decision in 2015. As a result of this case, a hearing was held at the Supreme Court in March 2017 to establish whether victims should be able to sue the police under the 1998 Human Rights Act Article 3. Release. On 4 January 2018, the BBC reported that Warboys was to be released from prison. Warboys, who was by now 60 years old, had spent 10 years in custody including a period on remand. After a hearing about his case in November 2017, the parole board had decided to approve his release with stringent license conditions. He would have to report to probation staff every week and was barred from contacting any of his victims. Warboys' period on license would last for at least 10 years and he could be sent back to jail if he breached any license conditions. The following day, Nick Hardwick, the chairman of the parole board, apologized unreservedly after it was reported that some of Warboys' victims had not been informed about his release, and The Guardian reported that the lawyer for several of Warboys' alleged victims whose cases were not included in the original criminal prosecution were ready to bring fresh prosecutions against him. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?